Hey! Hello, everyone. Good morning or afternoon or evening, depending on where you're at in the world. How's everybody doing? I am here with the lovely, oh, I gestured the right way. The lovely Sarah here. Sarah, would you like to do like a little plug for your channel, a little introduction before we get started?
Sure. I was waiting for it to pop up on YouTube so I could mute it, and so then it like just jumped in as you were finishing. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Um, but yeah, sure. I'm Sara Lubratt. I make writing and sometimes reading content here on YouTube, and yeah, occasionally do live streams. Although, like, who knows what's going to happen to that schedule? So I can't like plug anything there because who knows. So that's me.
yes. And then Sarah's channel is linked down below. I am sure I linked it down below this time. Usually I'm like, wait, did I? I don't know. Like 90% sure I did, but I am sure this time I double checked and triple checked. So go check out her channel if you are not subscribed already. She's amazing. Before we get started, so I know this says it's like a writing sprints, word sprints, but I'm actually going to be reading for this. So also you guys in the comments if you want to let us know what you're going to be working on. But I'm really excited about this book. It's called The Filigree Ball by Anna Catherine Green. And I found it in this random bookstore and it was written in like the 1900s or something. I don't know, like early 1900s. So I'm excited. It looks like it's a murder mystery. I have no idea what else to expect from it, but that's what I'm going to be working on for the sprint
Oh,
stream.
that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited. And then Sarah, can
Uh,
I ask what you're going to be working on?
I mean, you can ask, but like, do I know
I'm
the
not going to
answer?
answer. I don't have to tell you that.
Um, Probably a combination of things. I need to like I just uploaded a video, not like it's not live or anything, but like it's now in YouTube, so I have to like do all the like description and stuff. That's probably how I'll spend like the first sprint or so, and then hopefully I'll get to rewriting. We'll see. Stuff changes all the time.
Descriptions always take so long, just like setting up the video. Like making the video is half the battle, and the other half is just doing all the thumbnails and
Yeah.
stuff for it.
It I'm like still in awe with like how long it takes. Even now that like I have a system, I do it in like a specific order, it still takes me like way too long.
I know. I'm at the point where I'm trying to do two content videos a week plus like live streams every once in a while, and I was doing really well, but this week I'm just like not feeling it because it's so much just to
Yeah.
do one video. So I'm like, maybe I'm gonna take a break for Christmas. That's fine, right?
Oh,
I can say
totally.
that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I see that Yaza is here. Hello, Yaza. Yes, happy holidays to everyone. It blows my mind that it's only 2 days till Christmas. It just snuck up on me.
Oh, I know. But like now I'm like just like very intensely starting to like feel like it's Christmas because like we didn't have snow here until today. And so now it's like, yes, white Christmas, like let's go. Really getting into it now.
Yes. See, it's kind of hard for me because the line blurs because I've had snow since like November here in Montana. So I'm like, oh yeah, it's almost Christmas. It's
Yep.
nice. I still have to wrap presents, so I'm gonna be doing that on Christmas Eve.
Well, that'll like really get you like in the mood.
Oh yeah, we're gonna turn on Christmas playlist. It's gonna be great. And then VG Castle is here. Happy holidays. Geo is here. How's everybody doing? And then Geo says, I'm working on my project with no name. Ooh,
And then he goes and titles it.
but I'm gonna call it Project Fury. Oh, that's
I like
actually
that.
intriguing though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Everything Exploration is here. Hello. And Alice is here. It doesn't feel like Christmas to me, right? I don't know. It's just been I feel like this year's been weird. I don't know. But let us know what sprint times we're thinking, I am good to start with anywhere between 10 to 15 minutes to kind of warm up. I'm going to be reading and Sarah's going to be working on YouTube for the first one, but it's up to you guys. Let us know what time. And you too, of course, Sarah. I don't want to say anything and you'd be like,
I'm just along for the ride.
all right, you guys, I think we're going to start with like a good like 50-minute, just really get going on
I'm down.
50 minutes. I want to. One of these days, I'm going to do a live stream where it's just like two really. I'm
Two.
tired. I just got back
Two.
from dance class, you guys. I'm so tired. Two really long sprints. It's like maybe 2 hour long sprints, but just like one live stream. I feel like that would be really fun one of these
Wow.
days. But I
That
don't
would
know
be
if I'd be
so
writing.
That would be so intense.
I know. Although I feel like it could be good because I'm one where I may not be like, spewing the words out really fast, but it would like help keep me focused on one thing for a good amount of time. Because I can write for an hour and I do a lot of times, but I'll like, take little detours, go up, get water.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And then Gia said, I have no snow. In fact, it was 50 degrees today in Illinois. Moving down there. Dang. And then Al suggested 12/23. I like it. The date. That's
Oh,
fun.
I
We'll
didn't
have to
even
do
put
like
that
a.
together. I was like, oh, that's nice.
I like it. No, I wouldn't have gotten it. It's just I think the last live stream we did 12/25 or something like that in honor of Christmas. So I was just like hyper aware of the dates.
Okay.
Also, as per usual, I don't have my timer up. So
Oh, no, you're
one moment
good.
while I go get that.
I always do that. I don't know how many live streams it's going to take until I'm like actually prepared.
Oh, same here. Yeah, well, and then I live stream with a bunch of amazing people, and they all have like, all these different banners for the bottoms, like different subjects, different topics. I'm like, I can barely manage like sprint number one, sprint number two, sprint number three. I can barely manage that. I don't know how y'all are so organized.
I always forget to like put those up until like halfway through the sprint, and then I forget to like take them off until we're starting the next sprint, and it's just like it's chaotic.
And it's also weird, I guess, with StreamYard. I mean, it makes sense, but you have to click it to get it to go off, and you have to click it to like put it on. So I always forget to click it to take it off for some reason. I guess I feel like it should be like an automatic thing, and I forget that I have to do that. I don't know. All right, we are sharing screen, remembering to share audio, so it's not me just awkwardly beeping. Beep, beep. All right.
I think you should do that anyways.
Beep, beep, beep. Or Jeopardy music or something.
Oh,
We
I
had
love
said
it.
12/23. All right. And then Gio had said, I have my first live stream on Monday, so we'll see how prepared I am. I don't know how you all are so prepared. I'm not.
Just kind of show up, hit the start button.
Gotta wing it.
Oh yeah.
All right. So 12/23 is on the clock. I am going to start the timer in 3, 2, 1. All right, so that is time. How did everybody do?
How many pages did you get done?
Of reading? I
Yeah.
finished a chapter. I want to say it's
Okay.
around 10 pages, like front and back.
That's really good for 15 minutes.
They're the big words. This is like the old, like the font's pretty good size.
Okay. I'm still going to give you credit for it. That's awesome.
Thank you.
I almost got my description done, but I still have to do like the thumbnail and the cards and the end screen and all that fun stuff. So
Yes.
that's
Is
fine.
the video fully uploaded? Or
Yeah.
oh
Mhm.
yeah. I'm always waiting on that usually. I'm like ready to do the end screen and all that, but I still have to wait like a good hour before it uploads all the way so I can do that.
I've gotten like pretty used to it. Like I always try to like hit upload before I go eat dinner or something so that it's like processing like while I'm doing other things because I used to get so frustrated at that and like waiting and like sitting there and like hitting refresh. So I'm getting
That's
better.
smart to do it before dinner.
Sometimes it works,
Yeah.
sometimes it doesn't.
Everything Exploration was asking Geo, do you have a YouTube channel? Alice, did you put up the thumbnail yet? I didn't see it on YouTube. And Diane popped in. Hello. And Diane is working on a video edit. Nice. Kind of. I know. I'm so excited
Can't wait to see
for
it.
your video. I was. I'm trying to remember which way to point for your video, and I'm
You
also
got
very
it.
excited for Diane's video. I always love hearing about what people are up to, what stages they're at, video production, and all that stuff. Geo does have a channel. The
Mhm.
live stream, however, will be on Sophie Vaughn On's channel. Nice. At 2 p.m.
Oh, okay.
Ah, it's my time zone. That's nice. Usually it's like Central or Eastern Standard Time. That's fun.
Wait, is
Yeah.
it like 6 o'clock where you are then? I just assumed because you were like in the thumbnail, it was EST that
I
you were
just
like
do
on the
EST
East
because I feel
Coast.
like it's, I guess, the more common time zone I seem to notice on like word sprints and stuff. But also, I've gotten so used because I
Mhm.
started out just co-hosting with other people with live streams and stuff, and they would always do Eastern Standard Time. So I got so used to automatically counting back 2 hours. I feel like I would mess myself up if I wrote Mountain Time on the thumbnail.
I see. I see. Gotcha.
And the everything exploration, cool, looking forward to it. And yes, Alice, you got to share more summaries tonight, y'all. I love hearing little summaries or excerpts of whatever you guys are working on. I always enjoy that, so definitely feel free. And then Mr. Blondis is here at work, and I'm wishing I could write. I feel that. Usually it's school for me, though.
Hmm.
Spend the time figuring out a gift exchange with my friends.
Fine.
I read a couple pages of my book. I'm reading These Violent Delights. Ooh, I've heard of that one. It's on my extremely long TBR list.
Yeah, I've heard really good things about that book.
Yeah, it's like everywhere, I feel like on Bookstagram and stuff.
Oh, it is. And like the cover and like the title are like so good.
They're beautiful.
So good. Chef's kiss.
Yes. And then Geo, I spent the whole time figuring out the setting for my story. It was going to be more of a fantasy, but I'm considering more of a dystopian.
Mm,
Ooh, dystopian fantasy. That could be
fun.
fun. And then John is here visiting with my fam for Christmas, but they are watching a Hallmark movie, so figured I'd hide for a bit. I feel that. I get some work done. Gonna read for one, write for one, and video edit for one sprint.
Nice.
Nice.
It's a great plan.
I like the game plan. I'm so bad. Usually I'm like, well, I'm gonna try to write. Never mind, I don't feel like it. I'm gonna go read. Never mind, I'm gonna do this.
Okay, I feel like I'm being called out. I know you were just talking about you, but that's too real.
I'm glad I'm not the only one. That makes me feel better.
Oh, definitely not. Definitely me too.
Also, you guys, feel free to suggest another time for our next sprint. I'm good with doing like 20 to 22 minutes, if you're good with that, Sarah,
Yeah, down for whatever.
to kind of start working it up a little bit. We can do another fun date one if you guys want, or
We
I don't
could
know.
do it in reverse. We could do 2312.
I like that. I like that. Okay, Alice has suggested 2021, which
Also a
I
good
do
one.
like. So we can do 2021 for the first or second one, I guess, and then for the third one, do 2312. Does that sound
Great.
good?
Yeah.
Yes. And then maybe we can do this one to amp down. I'm gonna write this down before I will forget these. Actually, let
I've
me
like
write it
learned
over.
that about myself that I can't make those promises because I will forget.
I know I'm one, like I have to have alarms. My phone has so many alarms and they just go off throughout the day because I cannot function without my to-do list or alarms for like really important things because I just no.
That's funny.
All right, so 23, 12, and then 17, 17 are going to be our next ones. Okay. Okay, we're good. And then this one is going to be Alice's suggestion of 2021. Also, I see that Lolly popped on, just got here. I'm so happy to be part of this stream. Thank you for joining us. We have 3 more sprints left. We're just about to start the second sprint. And um, 2021, looking forward to better things.
Hopefully.
Yes,
Fingers
right.
crossed.
All right, 2021 is on the clock. I'm going to start the time in 3, 2, 1. All right, so that is time. Yay! How did
Awesome.
everything do?
Good.
How'd you,
Sorry, my
did you
computer
connect?
like froze on me and I like freaked out.
That could have been me on my end too.
No, but like everything went still,
Oh,
which is bad. It was good. Still have to do a thumbnail, but everything else is done. So much closer now.
nice. So I did count this time exactly how many pages. I read another chapter and that was 19 pages. Not like if you count the front and the back, it's 19. Not like
Yeah.
that would be crazy.
Yeah.
And then I also warmed
Good
up
page count.
some soup. So
Oh,
I'm gonna be eating that later.
what kind of soup is it?
It's like egg drop noodle soup that my little sister made the other day. It's real good.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
I'd never heard about it until my uncle, like I didn't know egg drop soup was a thing because it sounds kind of weird to me. I just wasn't aware. But my uncle dated this gal from Japan, and so he and her came over to our house one day and made our whole family egg drop soup. It was amazing. Oh my goodness.
I don't know if I've ever actually tried it, but my sister loves
It's
it.
really good. It sounded kind of strange to me when I first heard about it, but and again, chef's kiss.
Love it.
Then I saw Gotta go back to building servers. That is really cool though. Like that sounds like something I wish I knew how to do.
Yeah, totally. It's like, all right, cool. Glad to know I like can't do that.
And then John, haha, true. But they watch like all of them. Oh, all the Hallmark movies. And my dad and I can only go so long without starting to make sarcastic comments. Yeah, my sister and I, um, we like watching Hallmark movies or Hallmark-like movies to make sarcastic comments about them, but then we get to the point where we'll watch a movie like knowing it's going to be terrible, but then at the end we'll actually be like, that was actually kind of good though. So
Oh
it's
no,
funny. We'll
they've
get
got
sucked
you.
in. I know. We'll sit back and be like, why was that good?
That's funny.
Okay, and then this is Alice's summary. When some scientist notices that a major solar flare is going to hit Earth, they try to send everyone underground to wait out the wave of radiation. Plants and living matter would most likely die, but the infrastructure would still be left intact. And it works. Everyone goes to the bunkers underground, squeezing into the small space available. And the solar flare passes. But some strange side effects occur. Some people gain the ability to do things that go directly against the laws of science, and no one can figure out why. The problem is that the government finds out about these people and has their sights set on anyone who possesses such ability and those that have witnessed them. This leads several groups to run. One group finds a place that doesn't seem to have been affected by the solar flare and a man that may have the answers to their question. Dun dun dun. The story is called Flash Zone. I love that.
Okay, that sounds so good.
I know. Also, it sounds so sciency, and I'm so impressed with you for that because I've always wanted to write science fiction, but it takes a lot of research to look up all that sciencey stuff. So I'm very impressed
Oh,
that
yeah.
you did all that. It's
Is that like
amazing.
a full-length novel or is that like a short story, a novella? Do we know how long this project is?
Yes, let us know. But Alice said that she did get 759 words. That's amazing.
I don't know how.
I know.
So many. Oh my God. I'm just, again, in absolute awe.
You're amazing, Alice. Seriously. And then Lolly caught up on Jenna. Oh yeah, writing videos since I am way behind, so I guess you could say I wrote in a way. Yeah, you
You
were
research.
productive
Mhm.
writing related things. And then everything exploration reached page 90. Nice.
Congratulations.
And Caitlin is here. Hello, Caitlin. we have 2 sprints left after we get through the comments. And then, John, I'm so bad at editing that I may actually have done more harm than progress to my video over that sprint. I feel that so much.
That's funny.
When you sit back and you're like, is this just worse than I started with? Okay, question. Should I continue writing the current draft of my project, though I know I already want to change the species of my main characters, or should I just start over?
Well, how far are you into it? Because like I would just switch now and then you have to change less later.
That's true, because if you keep writing it as it is, then it's gonna be harder definitely when you go back to editing.
Mm-hmm. And like this might be correct me if I'm wrong, but this might be the story that he's like 10,000 words into. And so like that's not that bad if you just like switch now.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
but don't keep writing it if you think you want to change it. I mean, like don't keep writing it the way it is if you don't like what it is, if you know what I mean. If that made
Yeah,
it.
or even like change it now and don't even, I mean, you don't have to go back and edit that first part yet. Like just like kind of write on with the
Totally.
changes you want to make. I did that in one of my stories. It was a dystopian, and I actually was rediscovered it the other day, and I want to pick it up again one of these days. But I decided like a subplot needed to be changed, so I just wrote the rest of the draft as if that plot change had been made, and then I went back and edited the first half.
Totally.
Yeah, or switch species in the middle of the draft. Yeah, it's kind of what we were saying. And then everything exploration, I guess go with the option that feels the least intimidating. Is this a first draft? That's good advice too.
That is good advice.
I'm 21K. Oh. I mean, it depends, I guess, too, on how long you think the book is going to be. 21K, that could be like middle of a draft, or it could be like the beginning of it, too, depending on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So we do have times picked out last time. So, Sarah, you had suggested 23:12 for this next sprint. Does that still sound good?
Sure.
I like it. In honor of the date.
Yes.
All right, 23:12. All right, so 23:12 is on the clock, and I'm going to start the timer in 3, 2, 1. And that is time. Yay! How did everybody do for that one?
So I got the thumbnail done and I got that put up, and now the video is scheduled, so that's good.
Yay!
And then I filmed a video with my sister earlier today, and so instead of writing, I'm like watching through and like rough chopping that video because it's like really fun. I had a great time filming it, so like that took precedence.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I might just be working on video
That
stuff
is totally
today.
fine. It's like AuthorTube, right? It's writing related.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's productive,
I've
you
been
know, like
thinking,
it
I was
counts.
like, I mean, obviously I was writing all the time for Nano, so like every time I did word sprints, I would actually write. But lately I've been doing like a bunch of odd tasks that are, related to writing or reading or something. But I'm like, I should start calling these live streams like productivity sprints or something. I saw someone do that. I'm like, that's really clever because that could be like sprints for anything.
I
Yeah.
think grape fry might. But yeah, I've seen that and I'm like, that's a good idea. But I also like doing it with other writers who are doing stuff, so I haven't changed it yet. But
Yeah.
like, I
I
definitely
mean, like
agree
when you
with
say
that.
writing sprints, then you kind of like know what you're expecting and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll pop some
Right.
productivity sprints every
Yeah,
once
no,
in a while. We'll see.
totally.
And before I get to Alice's comment, I should say what I did, maybe. So I read a little bit more of this. I have no idea how many pages. So it was maybe like the first third of the chapter, and then I finished eating. So that's good.
Nice.
And then
Good.
Alice was talking about the project is a novella. It's currently on the back burner because I wrote part of it when loopy after having my wisdom teeth taken out. I'm amazed you could come up with something like that while loopy. I can barely come up with something that put together while sane.
That's amazing. That's all I have to say about that. That's awesome.
Yes. Um, and then John was asking, what's your main reason for changing species? And then Gia said, vampires are too overdone. I'm starting to notice there are many other similar species that aren't very popular. That is true. I do like seeing like the different types of supernatural creatures becoming more popular lately. I like seeing more of a representation with all the different mythologies and stuff. And Nikki is here. Hello. And then Miguel is also here. So we have one more sprint coming up, and that's going to be Geo's suggested time, 1717. Then I think that was also, was it Charlie's time or was it Alice's time? I know one of them also, 1717. That's the number. Yep. And then Geo had responded. And then John had suggested, I'd say set a day aside, print out your draft, really dive in the world you've created, what you've told of your main character, and then make notes. Does this still make sense as a new species? That's a good way to really get a handle on if the change is necessary and kind of to look through your story and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, John, that is so
I aspire to
organized.
be that organized.
I know he said stuff like that in like a couple live streams, and I'm like, how on earth do you have your life like this much together?
I know. I need to
I'm
print out
jealous.
because I have not ever printed out like a full draft to like sit down and pencil it, like do line edits. I always do it on my laptop because I mean it's I guess more convenient in the sense that you can copy paste move things around. But I think it would be a different experience to like read it as a reader would, like in your hands.
I just have to say that like when you like print it out and you see it being printed and then you get to like hold it for the first time, it's like I almost like cried. Like every time I get to print out a draft and like hold it, I'm like, I like did that. That's like, oh, it's like one of my favorite things. It's like inspiration to finish a draft just so I get to do that.
That's awesome. Do you print it out like at your house? I've seen some people do it at like Office Max and stuff like that. I've been back and forth.
Um, so when I have done it, I just like send the file to my dad and he prints it out at like his office because they have like a super industrial printer. So that's how I've done it in the past. But like I've heard that if you do it from like Office Max or something, you could even get it like spiral bound if you wanted to. And so it's like, but I haven't gone down that path yet.
Nice. I was just wondering because I've heard many different ways of doing it.
Mhm.
That's cool. And then Geo shared his project synopsis. Micah and Soren were the first male Furies ever created in existence. Together with their sister Charlie, the three ruled the world for over 300 years. And the kingdom was taken over by vampires. Three were exiled out of the kingdom, never allowed back inside. Despite what they were told in present day, the siblings returned to the kingdom. Dang, oh, there's more. To take back the kingdom that was stolen from them and their family. They start off by going to a little town in the center of the kingdom called Blood Point, where there are rumors of an unclaimed power. This is good because I remember you talking about Blood Point, so this is cool that I'm like able to connect how all of this comes together.
Mhm.
The siblings discover in order to find this unclaimed power, they're going to need to get the town of Blood Point on their side. Ooh, which a high priestess and human are going to help them get out. Nice.
Awesome.
I like it. And then Miguel, I need to know how my character, who's a very poor person, would get recruited by the government secret task force. My
Maybe like
character.
up, sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I mean, they could either be like upgraded, but with like this comment right here, my character's good at being sneaky and all that sort of stuff. I know sneaky and stealing aren't the same things, but maybe he's like, maybe he can like do something and then somebody who's like in a position of power sees it and then sees how they can like use them. I don't know.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Or do the age old, like, oh, I knew your parents or a relative of yours or someone you work with kind of thing, and I know you through there or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um, oh, a hacker.
Huh.
That's interesting. I like that. And then Alice was also suggesting, and Miguel, well, he's the type to do anything to survive, so that would work. Nice. And then Gio was talking more about the siblings don't really get along very well, but they have to come together to save the bloodline. Maybe make some people pay for their sins along the way.
Love how
Eh,
that sounds. It's always good.
yes. I'm no bounty hunter, she said after a moment. And Connor looked her up and down. No, you're not. It would be dangerous. A run-in with the Icon, a coveling, or even a bounty hunter that didn't like you would result in beating or death. After Connor finished talking more, people started coming in, and the longtime bounty hunter got up, waving to Brooke as he went, before disappearing down the hall, leaving Brooke to stew in her own thoughts as she cooked more customers' breakfast. Dang.
I love the word coveling. I don't, I don't know what that is, but I'm here for it.
Is it like a species, like in your book, or like a someone who comes from a certain town? I like it. I love anything to do with bounty hunters because I think it's such an interesting concept
Yes.
for any book.
I like know that I know that assassins and bounty hunters are like a little bit different, but like I will never get sick of that.
I love assassins.
Yes. Assassins and bounty. I like the concept of a bounty hunter and how sometimes the bounty you can't kill the bounty. Like I like so yeah.
It adds so much. And then also bounty hunters could be good or bad, or they could be like morally gray. So that
Yeah.
just adds like a whole, and even assassins too, like they could be, working for good guys or bad guys.
And like I just think the like internal not struggle, but like how they like make it logical for themselves and how they like talk, like how they think it's okay is like, it's like the psychology of it is fascinating.
Yeah, how they justify what they
Mhm.
do and
Totally.
yeah. Yes. And then also Autumn is here.
Hello.
Hello. And then Miguel saying hello to Autumn. So we do already have a sprint time picked out. This one was picked out by Geo, and it's 1717, to no one's surprise. Geo's favorite number. Um, oh, yeah, that's what I was wondering about Outcast Cove. A coveling is a person from Outcast Cove. The people are both assassins and bounty hunters, and there are no good guys or bad guys. This is my kind of story.
So like super morally gray. Love it. Oh my gosh. Can you like hurry up and finish writing it, please? I
Yes,
want to read
please.
it.
I volunteer to beta read if you're looking for beta readers. I'm always here.
Love it.
And then Miguel's just gonna read for the last sprint. I think I'll do that, or I've been okay. So there's this story idea, and it's actually an idea I'd come up with a few years ago,
Mhm.
and I want to revisit it. And I feel like if I sat down and got into it, it would come really fast to me, like the words would come really fast. But I just need to summon up the motivation, that initial push to like get into the project. So I
Sure.
might do that for this last sprint, or if not, because it is pretty late, I might just read some more.
I'm like, I want you to start it.
I know. It's also like I'm not a night owl, so this is like not my good productivity time. I usually like to get stuff done in the morning. About 2 o'clock is when I'm just like brain dead and I can't do anything.
I
But
feel
we'll
like sorry.
go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna say I feel like I'm brain dead until 2 p.m.
Oh,
Maybe we share like one brain cell.
yes.
And it's with you for the first part of the day, and then it comes over to me. Maybe that's what it is.
Hopefully. I think that's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Make a science fiction book about that.
Oh gosh.
I just noticed how it is with Furies too, because their job is just to punish the guilty, so there's really no good or bad because they punish both. Yes. The concept of the Furies are always so fascinating. All
Mm-hmm.
of it. All of it interests me. Just even the mythology about it specifically, I think. Because wasn't that like Norse? I want to say like Norse mythology with the Furies.
I think so because it wasn't Greek.
Because that has to. I'm thinking like Avengers with Thor and Asgard, and weren't there? No, was that were there Furies
I don't
or
think.
were those? No, those were Valkyries. Sorry, those were Valkyries. I'm thinking Valkyrie. Um, but I feel like it's also kind of Norse or something. I don't know.
No clue.
But I do like the mythology surrounding them. That's what I was trying to say.
Got it. Yes.
All right, so 1717 is on the clock, and I'm gonna start the timer in 3, 2, 1. All right, so that is time. How did everybody do for that one?
Just more video editing.
Nice.
Yeah.
I read a little bit more of my book. Again, I don't know how many pages, probably like 6 front and back.
How far are you
Well,
with it now?
if I don't drop it. So this is the front of the book. So I'm just starting on it.
It's also
Well,
like a
I had
solid
already
chunk, though.
started a little bit of it. I was like 2 chapters after I started. Yeah, it's I'm really
Couldn't fool me.
excited for it because I didn't really know what to expect. I just opened it up and saw this really cool like drawing or print, and it looked like there was a dead body on the ground. So I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is like a murder mystery or something. And
Oh,
it's kind of cool to be reading a book where I have absolutely no expectations because there's not like a summary or anything for it.
yeah.
So yeah, it's fun. Things are happening. There's like a haunted house kind of an aspect to it, and there's all the suspects are being introduced right now. So
Hmm.
excited.
That's awesome.
Um, trying to scroll back. At one point, Gio was asking about. Oh, okay. I feel like I missed something. Okay. Geo, poll, do you prefer fantasy stories in magical worlds or non-magical worlds? So like fantasy, like hardcore fantasy versus like paranormal, contemporary, kind of?
I I read non-magical worlds as almost like magical realism, where there's like
Oh,
just little aspects, or like urban fantasy kind of a thing.
yeah.
Might be misusing that term, but what I think of is urban fantasy.
Yeah. That is cool. I think for me personally, it depends on how I'm feeling. I appreciate both.
Hmm.
Um, the book Idimf, so book one in my Rishindi Chronicle series that I wrote, it is more of a non-magical world, but there's different species of people who do have magic, if that makes sense. There's
Sure.
I don't know if that makes maybe I'm thinking of it wrong, but I have read books where like the world itself isn't really like magical, but it's fantasy in the sense that it's not like the normal world.
Yes, I like fantasy books that don't take place in our world, but I'm also a huge fan of like the epic fantasy genre.
Yes.
So like Game of Thrones, Star Trek, Star Wars, the bigger the better. So, but that's completely a personal thing.
I love those, but also I have to be in the mood because epic fantasies, I like the really detailed ones, but I have to be in the mood to like get down and get into them because
It helps if I can like binge it. So like
mm,
TV shows and movies are easier because you can like take in large amounts of information. Whereas like if you're reading a book and it's going to take you 20 hours to read the book, that's like, yeah, that takes like a very specific.
especially if you're reading something like Brandon Sanderson where he has a very complicated magic system and you're trying to like absorb all the information and remember how everything works.
Totally.
VG Castle said definitely magical world, but not fairy tale genre nor urban, more like high fantasy. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Gio was asking about bounty hunters. Um, yeah, bounty hunters are kind of one that can really cross through any genre. You can look at The Mandalorian as kind of like a sci-fi bounty hunter. They basically, people hire them to go chase after people and bring them back usually. That's like their bounty they're trying to do. But I'm sure there's modern bounty hunters, and there's fantasy.
Like,
Yeah.
so one of my back burner projects, I call it CBH, but So I've never talked about what like what the abbreviation is for, but it stands for Cyborg Bounty Hunter. And so like I'm like like so looking forward to writing that story, but like I'm only like 30 pages into it, but like I love sci-fi bounty hunters.
That's awesome.
We'll see what happens. I've been thinking about it for a long time, so I know it's going to happen at some point. I just want it to happen now, but I'm trying to like pace myself so that I can actually finish what I'm working on before I start it.
Yes. That's the trick. Alice had said, I like magic. I don't think I have read enough non-magic fantasy to make that call. I think I would kind of say the same. I read mostly like epic or high fantasy for sure. What is that curfew rule? Charlie asked Gabriel. Gabriel shook his head, then continued talking. You must be home by midnight, no later, Gabriel continued. If you're out any later, you'll get shot in the middle of the street or have your body drained of blood. And don't think you can go inside. Wow, that is intense. Lock your door, you'll be safe. Every house in the kingdom, double check to make sure you're sleeping. Wow. Dang, that's like summer camp, but like to the max.
What?
Are you laughing at me?
Yeah, I love that it's like summer camp, but to the max.
You know how like summer camp.
After they're talking about like getting shot in the street and having your body drained of blood and stuff, and I'm like, you went to
what kind of summer camp did you go to? No, I mean like in the sense where you have to be in your cabin by this time, no getting out of your cabin. We're gonna check, make sure you're asleep.
No, I get that, but it was just like the absolute like dichotomy of it, where I was like, oh, what?
Yeah, we have some real intense summer camps up here in Montana.
Yeah, I think I'll steer clear.
And then Miguel was going to share part of a scene, and I think that's later on. So I'm going to keep scrolling through the comments, but I think it's coming up. Then you were brought to either get killed or have to sit on the tower for a tournament. Wow. Dang.
Okay, sorry. What if you have like insomnia and you can't sleep? Because I have insomnia. Would I get killed because I'm not asleep?
Oh. Interesting.
Okay, what happens? Hang on. Like, Gio, you don't have to answer this, but like, what happens at night that you can't be outside for and that you'll get killed if you're awake? And then, like, what are these guards seeing or what are these soldiers seeing that nobody else can see? I have questions.
I'm intrigued. I want to know the backstory to this. And then, Alice, you could go looking for her yourself, fake her death with a print proof rather than a dead copy. Connor paused. But that would be treason, real treason. Both you and your sister would be criminals for life. No going back, Connor finished. A print proof is a bloody handprint as proof of death. Dang.
I like that. I love a print proof. That's really interesting.
No. You need to stop stealing from your customers, Jermaine said. Is it Ivan? Replied, well, that's what they have in their pocket. Well, what they have in their pockets is worth more than my salary anyway. Well, nice.
I like that.
That's really good. Alice should be looking for betas in February, so it's good to know people are interested. Yes. And 6:52 for that sprint. Lizzie stopped by to say hello. This will be the last time you'll be seeing me. Oh no. What?
I think that comment was like, hey, just popping in, but also gonna pop back out. So like I'm not gonna be here. I think is what she meant by like this is the last time you'll be seeing me. I don't think that's like as ominous as it sounds.
Okay, I was like, oh no, what's happened?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Entirely different plot, same characters. Oh, that's nice. And Gio had the same question. Just arrived now. What book is that?
I think it's the book you're reading.
Oh. Huh? As long as I don't like knock my phone off the table there. I have like cords going every which way. I have my laptop being plugged in and I have my phone plugged in.
Nice.
Yes. No, so I'm reading The Filigree Ball by Anna Catherine Green. It's this random vintage book I found in this bookstore. It was published in 1903 and it's like a murder mystery. It's really good. I'm really liking it. And then Everything Exploration reached page 126. My goodness. And like Avatar. Was that in I'm trying to remember, like think back to which conversation this was from.
I don't know.
Avatar's good though.
Like Avatar The Last Airbender or like Avatar the movie?
Oh. I don't know. But Sarah just revealed CBH.
I had to. We were talking about bounty hunters. I had to.
I know. One of these days I'm going to reveal IDIMF because it's like IDIMF. So I just say IDIMF because it's like such a mouthful already.
Oh, totally. That's brave, though. You're going to like reveal that. Is it your like placeholder title that you shortened down to IDIMF, or is that like the end goal title?
That's the title I have for it right now. It's nothing special. Like, I guess I'm kind of just holding on to it to like make an announcement video kind of a thing once I get more things squared away.
Okay.
But it's the title I'm liking right now. There's a lot of like hidden meanings to it. So I'd like to keep it, but it is very long because it is the abbreviated title. So IDIMF, it's like 5 words in the title. So I'm back and forth about if it's too long or not.
Okay. I think you can't go over 5. Like 6 is like borderline too long, but I feel like 5 is good. Hopefully. Like A Court of Thorns and Roses, like the entire like ACOTAR series totally did that.
Yeah, that's true. Well, and I feel like that's really common with young adult books lately, I've noticed. Like A Curse So Dark and Lonely, a blank of blank and blank. Like I feel like that's a really common setup lately.
Totally.
For titles. Mm-hmm. I don't know. But Lizzie is hopping off. Hope to see you again. And then, yes, it was Ivan.
I like that.
Yeah, I was reading it as Ivan at first, but I like that variation. If you have sleep insomnia, the only thing the oligarchy cares about is keeping their kingdom in line and maintaining power.
I would not last long.
No, you be gone.
Okay, well, it was fun while it lasted.
Bit of a context: the guards are vampires, werewolves, bounty hunters. It has something to do with the barrier. Ooh,
the barrier. Dun, dun, dun.
Fascinating. You know how our lives are? To get our needs from scraps. Oh. And then also
flicker?
Yeah, my sister came in and then turned off the light like as a reactionary thing and then turned it back on because she remembered I'm still in here.
Okay, cool.
And then yeah, a blank of blank and blank is so common.
I'm like embarrassed to share this because we're like, I mean, but it is so popular right now, but like using that format, I came up with titles that I haven't shared and don't know if I'll share, but like for like all 3 books of my fantasy series that I'm working on, and they all follow that format.
Yes. I have can't remember. Oh, one book, yes, at least that follows that format for a title. Because it's kind of nice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's pretty, I don't know. It's like enough to draw you in. Because I feel like there's also a phase there where like one word titles were very common. And which is cool, easy to remember, but also I feel like it's easier to like draw people in when there's more words. I don't know.
Yeah, did you ever read that book series that had like the weird cover of like the girl in the bubble and then like, I don't know, but like one of them was like Reached?
Yeah, it was like Matched. Wasn't Matched the first one?
Yes. And then Reached, I believe, was one of them. And I'm just like, Like, that gives me zero information.
I know. I think Matched, I kind of had like some idea because it was like an arranged marriage kind of thing, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't have guessed it unless I read like the summary on the back and then been like, oh yeah, okay, I can make sense of it. Yeah. I don't know. Is it DE with the titles?
No, DE was the original um, title that I came up with, but that original title no longer relates to the story. And so now I just call it DE as an abbreviation. And at some point I will say what that means, but I'll do that like after I'm ready to announce like official titles.
Dun dun dun.
We
Let's
hope.
make a whole video of it.
I will. I'm looking forward to it.
And then VG was asking, how do you come up with your series title?
I think it was a line in the book. And then like very quickly the other two like popped into my head after I like wrote that one line or something.
Nice.
I'm not good at titles. I'm not the person to ask.
I used to be so good at them, and then I think I'm overthinking them now because usually I'd start writing a draft and I'd be like, I know the title for this, it's gonna be great. And then I think I just read too much like info on how to pick the perfect title, and now I can't for the life of me come up with one.
For sure.
I prefer one or two words titles. Yeah. Those are good.
I like those.
And then Michael, also, do you think of your character's appearances first? My first thought of Ivan was him being a dark blonde with unkempt hair.
I just
Do that.
I
Go
think
ahead.
of the world first. I don't even know where my characters come into play. Or like when. I actually feel like their appearances is like one of the last things I think about.
That's interesting.
I have no idea.
Huh.
What about you?
I'm the opposite where, I mean, sometimes, like, especially in a fantasy context, I'll come up with a world and that'll give me an idea or like a situation. Um, but I'm actually one of those people who usually has character names first before the character, like from the very beginning. I actually get inspired by the names themselves because I'll see a name and then in my head I can picture like what the character, what person like matches that name, like what the physical description. I don't know, because like you know sometimes you see like a name, you're like, oh, that's a really pretty name. That name reminds me of someone who's has like blonde hair or something, someone who has black hair. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but like when I see a name, I can like think of the physical description in my mind. So
I come
yeah.
up with names last, so that's impressive.
Well, I find it so fascinating just hearing different people's like writing processes, especially when it comes to naming things and characters, and it's cool to see how that varies.
Mm-hmm.
The setting is one for me where I'll usually have some idea, but then I won't flesh it out till like draft 3 because I can't with settings. I have to go back and rewrite things and add things in.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have 3 siblings, physical descriptions or physical appearances plus hairstyle throughout the series planned. Nice. And then Miguel plus I always want to have a redhead in my stories. Red hair is so cool.
I love that.
Many of my books come to me is movie or cartoon format in my dreams, so both the world and character come to me at the same time.
Cool.
That's awesome.
That's so cool.
All right. Well, we have reached the 2-hour mark, so I am going to have to sign off. Sarah, okay, got to motion the right way. Do you want to do a little outro or another little plug or anything like that?
You know, again, I can try. For those of you who might not know me, I'm Sara Lubratt. I am currently posting videos twice a week on YouTube under the channel name, I did it the wrong way, Sara Lubratt. Mostly writing content as I'm like chronicling, trying to write a book and ideally get it published, and occasionally reading content as I'm like getting back into reading because I was in a really awful reading slump for a long time. But yeah, videos twice a week. That's me.
And her channel is linked down below, so be sure to check it out. Subscribe if you're not already. It is linked.
Thank you.
All right, so that is going to be all from us today. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and we will see you in the next video.
Bye.
Bye.